Hi guys, aloha. Here is Sonia Indigo. Welcome to this channel. And we are here out in the nature in Munnar, in the south of India, north of Kerala, and I highly recommend to come to see this beautiful place. We are here near a waterfall, and in this video I would like to share my journey over the last 1 year in my recovery of my own codependency. So one year ago, it was in September. Now we are in October 2018 by the time that we are recording this video. And how did I came up to know about my own codependency? I mean, people live their whole lives without even being aware of it. I came to know about my own codependency because I wrote an article sharing stuff that I was feeling that moment, and I'll put the article below on the comments of this video, on the info. And the article was when we go the extra mile on smiling and being nice and serving way too much. I shared that article on my Facebook, and a acquaintance, she comes there sometimes, she likes some stuff or she comments some stuff. So in that post, she came and she said, Sonia, this has a name. She went through reading the whole article and she said, this is codependency. I discovered my own codependency, and I'm healing myself, and this what you describe here, it's exactly codependency. And I stayed like with that thing behind my ear. It was like a seed, like codependency. What the hell is that? And I took a week to integrate that stuff. And after a week, I just took my laptop and I went to a restaurant on the cliff, just alone and watching the sea. And I opened and I went to the Google and codependency research. And then I came up with, I read some articles. There is so much stuff about codependency and narcissism, like so much stuff. And so I came to I read the first article, and from the first one, it took me to the next one, and the next one, and then I came like, so how this come up? From where comes codependency? And then I went to read one after the other one, and I just could not stop, because it was just describing my whole life and my whole childhood. And I came up with all these questions, and I as I Google it, I came to discover the answers. So the month of September and October, especially September, was a month where I came to this awareness, and then I came to know from where it comes, codependency, from childhood. Of course, everything comes from childhood, and I'm working on counseling and listening stories of people for 5 to 10 years. So I know that most of the issues we have in our life, they come from childhood, and even the time we had in our belly's mother, and the birth time, and the first few 6 months of life, and the first 1 year, the first 2 years. This is, oh my God, so important in how we become later. And then of course our childhood, who raised us and how we are raised, and what we understand, what is love, like what our parents or our caregivers teach us about love, depending on how they behave with us. And what do we learn about love, depending on what we observe as childs in our parents, how they behave to each other in in a supposed loving relationship. So yeah, codependents definitely didn't have the ideal childhood. Also narcissistic people also didn't have. And so I came to know what is a narcissistic father and what is a narcissistic mother, and they have different patterns of behaviors, and what I read, it just completely fit into what I had as a reality in my childhood. So that explained it a lot. And the first stage of, and this is quite general to everyone, the first stage that we cross when we discover about our own codependency, it's really this, the awareness, the informating ourselves. Sorry, my English, I'm from Portugal, so this is not my main language, but I do my best. So it's like to get informed, and when you get informed, when you get that awareness, I was more than a month crying, and in the first week I was just crying, because we crossed that stage of grieving. After the awareness, we cross the next stage is the grieving. Why grieving? Because we just, oh my God, how I was treated like that, you know, how did my mother had those behaviors towards me, and my father, and how, why, you know, I just cried so much, like just holding myself and crying for the childhood that I had, you know. It's okay, we accept all, and it's all meant to be like that. I mean, in my work I'm teaching this to other people, that we choose our parents, all right, while we are yet in souls, because we have certain lessons to learn, and we have a certain life path to develop, to unfold in front of us in our life. So it's all meant to be. It's all meant to be, but it's okay to cry, you know. It's healthy to cry, to grieve, and to hold yourself, because, oh my God, you know, because we were just not aware. You know, I spent like 20 years of my life having mostly 95% of unhealthy relationships with other partners, just because of this, because I was unaware of my own codependency and how this affected in my life. So the first stage is the awareness. So just getting, if you are a person who are all, you know, codependents are people pleasers, you know. Codependents are people pleasers. Some codependents are also love addicts, and codependents are, you know, they are anger, you know, they are craving love. You know, codependents are craving loves, because it's what they didn't have. They didn't have emotional connection from their parents. And so they crave love, they crave appreciation. And so what they learned as little child, is that if I do this, maybe my father or my mother will look at me and will hug me, or will appreciate me, or will give me a drop of love. So basically, codependents are doing people. They are not human people, they are doing people. They learn in childhood that if they do, then they can have some appreciation and some love. Instead, they just be what they are. They just be. We can just, normal people, they just are. Of course we can do things, but we don't live to do all the time things for other people. And codependents live for that, you know, because they crave this appreciation, they crave this love, you know. Sometimes they promise too much, they really want to do things, but that they realize they promise way too much than they really actually can do. This is another reality of codependency. So, first stage, the awareness. If you are a person who are always always smiling, and everything is nice, and people pleasing, do you want this? And I do this for that, for you, la la la, and all this this ridiculous reality that we live in. Just step back, you know, step back, go to the Google and codependency, you know, just research. The first step is awareness. You have to, I was in September to March. I think I saw more than 300 videos in YouTube in codependency, plus all the articles that I read. And that was just life-saving for me. You know, if you are a codependent, the best thing you have to do for you, it's to heal yourself from codependency. okay? And yoga, some people go to yoga and spirituality and meditation and Reiki and whatever other healing stuff, and they think this heal their lives. This is the flag, you know, this is the life salvation. It is not. It is not. You know, yoga, I've been yoga since I don't know how many years, way more than almost 20 years, more than that, and in Reiki since 10 years, and you know, it didn't save my life. It has helped me, okay? But the real turning point for someone that is codependent is really to become aware that you are codependent and to go through the healing of your own codependency. And then yes, the yoga, the Reiki, this, that, meditation, positive affirmations, all right, they are all good, they are amazing. I've been doing this since over 10 years. It's just awesome. But the healing of the codependency is the real stuff. How you heal that? Becoming aware, you know, going through your own second stage, going through your own healing. Third stage, becoming connected with what you really love to do. This happened just after, it was like around I would say October, November last year, when after the grieving stage I start to become aware, what do I love to do? What does this mean? It means that codependents are trained, their mind, their brain is trained to serve others and to please others, you know? So this means that they are not in touch with their wants and with their needs, because in childhood no one asked them, what do you want to do, you know? What do you want to study? Do you like to sing? Do you want to go to a school for learning music? You know, my parents laughed on me when this subject came up. You know, what do you like? What do you want for dinner? What do you want to wear? Things so simple. So they are not trained, they are not educated as a child to be in touch with their wants and their needs. They are trained to please their parents, which are narcissistic people. Okay, so so when you pass your awareness and your grieving stage, you start to connect with the things that you really love to do. You know, what do I love, and what is happening in my life now that I really don't enjoy. So I started to get in touch with that, and more than before. And I have to say that by this stage I was in a marriage of 6 years, which was not a healthy relationship, was very unhealthy in fact. And of course we attract what we are a match to, you know. So people that have a codependent behavior, they will perfectly match with someone who has a narcissistic behavior, because it's like imants, it's like magnets, they attract each other, you know. So I was a complete match for that person. It's not that he's bad and I'm good. Because both codependents and narcissistic people, they are childs. They never grow up, you know. They both have a childish behaviors in some point, you know. They both have unhealthy behaviors. Both. It's not that the narcissistic is bad and it's just they are both unhealthy. Point. And this is a study that is done in psychology, you know. This is proved. So like it's just like that. So by this time last year I became aware of like, oh my God, I don't want to be here anymore. No, this is not for me. And so yeah, in December I finished the relationship, and in January I rented another house, and I moved with my 2 daughters with 4 years and 6 years. We talked, and it was quite peaceful, so it was okay, but I will not enter in details. What I want to say is that I moved and I found my own space and my own energy, you know, and I created my own space in a new house. It was like so important. And then after, I kept watching more videos and trying to be aware of my own behaviors and to, so I will not enter here in detail, but there is so much, oh my God, there is so much to learn. There is so much to learn in codependency, like how to say no. Like it's a huge difficulty for codependent people. Learn about assertiveness, you know, just to be assertive and know when you have to say no, and be firm and gentle but firm, you know. Stop pleasing other people just by pleasing, just stay in your ground, you know, and okay, yes, I love, you know, I'm a healer anyway, so I believe that many healers are codependents, but I'm a healer, so and also an astrologer, so it came. And also an empath. I'm also an empath. So I can see a person and I can see that that person needs healing, okay? And okay, we can do the stuff and we can exchange something, but I'm not going like jumping to everyone and trying to save the world. It's just to stay in your place and help if you can. Yes, of course, we are here to serve, but fill your cup first. I mean, fill your cup first. Just fill your cup, you know, just make your own practice and look after yourself well and have healthy food, you know, and connect with your friends and fill your cup first. And then you go, it's coming out, all right, then you go and you help the other ones. But fill your cup first, you know, learn about self-care, learn about self-love, you know. So what happened after, around April, May, I went on vacations in south of Goa, in Palolem, and during that time, I did a whole research in nutrition, in veganism, healthy diet, because I was really wanting to have a really, to clean my body, you know, to purify my body, through the food, because we are what we really are what we eat or smoke or drink, whatever. We really are whatever we put inside our bodies, point. So I went through this and I learned a lot in veganism and why not to have sugar, why not to have what the caffeine does to your body, what so many things. And like I felt this urge from inside out to just I don't want to be part of this, like to really become vegan, to not be a part of this, to still feed this food industry, you know, with the milks and the cheese and all, so many things. I just didn't want to be a part of this anymore. And so I tried to I'm doing my best since then to more and more, and gradually that's what is happening, that I'm coming to a real plain kind of eating, you know, like I'm avoiding all kind of processed foods and having as much as possible organic, otherwise plain grains and dried fruits and vegetables and fruits. So a really plain diet. I stopped eating bread, and you know, and I'm avoiding a lot the wheat flour. And on the 1st of August, I stopped to have sugar and caffeine. So I'm not having coffee or black tea, and I can tell you that is like it did a huge shift in my emotions, in my behaviors. So this was another stage. And around in June, I also took time for myself. You know, in June is the off season here in South India, and for the first time, I just did a break. You know, instead I start to prepare already the next season, work. I just said, hold on, like just because I went on vacations alone with my 2 daughters, which means I didn't have much time for me. So when I arrived, I said, no way, I will not go forward than this. I will stop here. And I dedicated a month or so, or at least 2 weeks, to make a self-care plan. So I did a really nice I did a research on the Google about self-care plans. I did download a lot of them. You can find, oh my God, you can find lots of stuff. You can find everything on Google and YouTube, So I did download of this stuff, and then I did my own self-care plan, a really nice Excel that I stick inside somewhere in my room, and I try more or less to keep in mind. So I did this, and so look what life brought to me. When you really look after yourself, I truly believe in this, because this happened to me, and I'm not the only one. I'm not special. I just did my stuff. When you really look after you, when you really look after yourself, you really care yourself, you create your own environment, your own healthy environment where there is no other people torturing you mentally or emotionally, like I had in my last relationship. So you get the courage, you get the guts, you get a pair of balls between your legs, and you say, no way, this is not for me anymore. And you just create your space, you look after yourself, you really look after your health and what you eat. And you don't smoke, you go really healthy, and you clean yourself. And I did lots of prayer in June as well. So look what life brought to me. Or life, or God, or the universe, call it whatever you want. In July, this stunning house fall in my lap. I moved to a beautiful, really, like, ever in my life I had a house like that. A really beautiful place, where from the moment I moved there, as soon as I moved, in June I opened my profile in Workaway, which is a place for hosts and volunteers. So as soon as I moved, I received my first volunteer, and since then, in a new space, in a beautiful place, I'm receiving people from all over the world, that beautiful, angels that God is sending to me, from the four corners of the world, with the bright skills to realize the projects that I wrote 2 years back. 2 years back I wrote about lots of projects, like a consistent work on YouTube, and writing my books, and doing my online courses. Lots of and the new blog, a whole. It was not only one project; it was several projects. I wrote a lot about that 2 years ago, and they just stay there. And now it's happening. These people are coming. Okay, so as I connected more and more with myself, and being away from distractions and smartphones and social media and all this, so this God is sending to me these awesome people, just feeling my heart is so full. I'm so happy with these beautiful people around me doing all those stuff, and also, their company and their presence. So this is what I can say so far about my codependency recovery. In 1 year, my life has changed for better, 680 degrees. Like, everything has changed. I'm totally, I got in my own power, and I am much more in my ground now. I was so blocked in my throat chakra because I was not communicating my truth. I was not living my truth. So many things unblocked, and I'm so much more in my power now. Not like a power, but like in my own essence, in my own nature now. And also something really important to add here, it's the healing. I am a healer, but I did receive, there are points in our life where we need extra hands, and thanks to God, I did received lots of healing from other healers, Reiki, I received several times 4 Reiki sessions in a row, and this is the complete treatment. This is the ideal amount of sessions you need to have to really do something meaningful in your life. So I did receive healing from different Reiki masters, and this has helped me a lot. I mean, really a lot. Adding to all these codependency recovery, so this is something to pinpoint. Just go and because you have to receive healing. If you have your throat chakra blocked, your heart is blocked, I mean, you have no power to act. What you do? Your mind is blocked. What you do? The chakras. This means that the chakras are blocked. So you do need to receive Reiki to unblock all those energies, and plus all the emotional stuff and mental stuff. You need to receive Reiki to unblock, and to move forward in your life. Otherwise, even though you really want to move, but you have no energy to move, so you're stuck. Yeah, this was my own personal journey in codependency. From here, you take whatever you feel it can be useful for you and for your life. I hope this video could bring some insights to you, as other videos brought to me when I saw them. And thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, just subscribe my channel, click on the bell to receive the next videos. You'll get really some meaningful stuff here. And thank you so much for watching.